Hello students, I am Miss Rishika. Today we are going to learn about the double entry system of accounting for grade 8. So first of all, before we learn the double entry system, we have to learn what is an account. Account is a main part of the accounting where you record all the transactions after you record the prime entry books. So first you have to record them in the prime entry books, then after that you have to transfer them into the account. So this is the format of an account. It divides into two parts. First the left side of the account is called the debit side and the right side of the account is called the credit side. So each side contains with three columns where you write the date, detail and the amount, and credit side also has the same three columns, date, details and the amount. So this is the format of a T account where you write above the T accounts you have to write the title of the account's name. So before we start the rule of the double entry system, we have to identify these three important elements. The first one is the equity or the capital of the business. So equity or the capital of the business means at the very beginning of the business people will invest things, resources like cash, building or the machinery or the motor vehicle of the persons or owners of the business. They invest them inside the business. So those total resources which has been invested or which has been supplied to the business by the owner is called equity or the capital. And the second element is the assets. Assets means the resources owned by the business. That means the things the owner has invested as well as while doing the business, whatever the resources given or taken inside the business, those are called the assets. So for example, the building which the business is there, the cash or the bank or the trade receivables. Here the trade receivables means the people who has purchased things from the business on credit. That means without paying cash, they have promised to pay the amount which they have purchased at a later date. So these are called the assets. Then the third element is the liability. Liabilities means the money owed for assets supplied to the business. That means now while doing the business, if the cash is not enough for the business transactions, they might ask for a bank loan. So bank loan means they give loans from the banks. So those are liabilities. In near future, you are liable to pay these things to the outside of the business. So trade payables means if you have purchased things on credit, that means goods, if you have purchased furniture without paying cash but promised to pay at a later date, the person who has sold the furnitures are called trade payables. Then another example is accrued expense. Accrued expense means expenses which you have not paid. That means for an example, if you have not paid last month rent, that is coming under accrued expenses. So these are the important three elements before you have to learn before you start learning the rule of double entry system. So equity means the total resources supplied by the business. Assets are the resource owned by the business, and whatever the things which they have taken outside the business which is owed, those are called liabilities. Now we will start to learn what is the rule of the double entry system. So double entry system is invented or was found by Father Luca Pacioli. So Father Luca Pacioli is the one who invented the double entry system. So in this double entry system, it tells that one transaction should record in two places. That means if once on the debit side of the account and another entry on another account, credit side of the account. So these are the account types. Now assets, equity, liability already we have learned. This what happen when it increases and the double entry is written on the other side of the column. So assets, that means the resources owned by the business. If it increases, it's always written on the debit side of the T account. That means if you look at this account format, its debit side means it's the left side of the account. If assets are decreasing, it will be written on the credit side. That means your right side of the account. For an example, if you purchase a motor vehicle is an asset. So motor vehicle asset increases, so you will be debit the motor vehicle account. So if you sold whatever the machinery that you have been using, then it decreases the assets, so it will be credited to the machinery account. Now expenses. Expenses means day to day when you are doing businesses, you will do expenses like paying electricity bill, paying your telephone bill, or paying rent. So whenever the expenses increases, it's also on the debit side of the particular account. When expenses decreases, it will be recorded on the credit side of the account. So you can see assets and expenses, they affect equally. Both assets and expenses, when increases, it's debit side of the account. When decreases, it's the credit side of the account. Equity, liability and income. Income means whatever the things that you receive on cash. That means if you receive discount, that is called an income. If you receive a rent or interest, that is coming under income. So equity, liability, income, whenever they increase, all three of them when increase, it will be written on the credit side of the T account. And all three when it decreases, it will be recorded on the debit side of the account. Now if you memorize this one, asset and expenses, equity, liability, income will be the opposite of the assets and expenses. So asset and expenses when increases debit, and when decreases credit. All equity, liability, income, all three when increases, it's the credit side of the T account, and decreases, it's on the debit side of the account. So what you have to do is, before you record the transaction, before you learn how to record the transactions, you have to memorize what happens. When asset increases, which side of the account you have to record. When equity increases, which side of the account you should be recording. So if you memorize this, it will be easy for you to record the transactions. So when you are doing day-to-day businesses, there will be lots of transactions where you have to record them in the T accounts. But as a summary, I have gathered 15 transactions which will be coming for your syllabus. So the very first transaction will be investor capital. The first transaction will be investing capital or equity. That means at the very beginning of the business, they won't just start. What they will do, owners, they gather equity or capital and they invest them into the business and they will start. So investing capital, it affects two things, and you will record them in two places. So when you are investing the equity, it affects two things. That means whatever the asset that you are investing, it affects the assets. Now for an example, if you start the business by investing cash, then cash asset increases, as well as the equity increases. Now when you are investing things to the business, it affects the assets, whatever the particular asset that you are investing, and it affects the equity. So both are increasing. Now I have told you, when asset increases, it will be debited to the particular account. That means the double entry will be the particular assets account will be debit, and the equity, when it increases, it will be credit. Okay, so when you invest something like cash, that means the cash account will be debited, that amount will be credited to the equity account. So this what the Father Luca Pacioli has said. When you enter one debit entry, there is always a credit entry for all transactions. Now we'll look at an example. We'll assume Judy started a business investing £10,000 cash and a building valued $15,000. Now, just now only Judy has started on 1st of January. She started a business investing 10,000 on cash, building valued 15,000. That means she has invested a building and cash. So this affects cash is an asset. Cash goes inside. When you invest, the cash in the business increases, and he is investing another building. That means the building which is there increases as well. These both are coming under equity because at the very beginning only the owner is investing. So when you invest cash and building, cash increases, building increases, as well as equity increases. So cash and building both are assets. So both assets, when it increases, debit. That means the cash account is debit and building account is also debit. And equity, when equity increases, it's on the credit side of the account. Now this is the double entry. Now we are going to record them in 2T accounts. Not 2, 3T accounts. Now normally I have given you the format, but when we are recording, we are using a T. A ledger looks like T to record these transactions. No need to draw the whole format. Instead of that, you can use the T account. Now here the cash, we need 2 T accounts. One is for cash account and the other one is for building account, and another account for equity. Now cash increases, cash on the debit side, you have to make sure that you write debit credit and the pound sign. Now cash increases, debit side means on your left side. What is the amount? It's 10,000. So you will write 1st of January 10,000. And building is also debit, 1st of January, it's 15,000. And both these amounts will be credited separately, 1st of January, 10,000 and 15,000. Okay. Now before we start writing the details, we first write the amount. So we have debit, cash and building, and both amounts have been credited to the equity account. Now what you have to do is, now here you have a space. That means you have to write the detail. When you are writing the detail, what you have to do is you have to exchange the T accounts names and you have to write. Now here cash debit entry, this 10,000 is on the cash account and the credit entry is on the equity account. So the specific 2 T accounts are cash and equity. So what you have to do is, in cash account you have to write equity, you have to exchange the names and write in equity account you have to write cash. And here the building account, 15,000, debit entry is on the building account, where is the credit entry? Credit entry is in the equity account. That means that 15,000, what are the two accounts? Building and equity. You have to exchange those two names. In building account you have to write equity, and equity account you have to write building. And you have to make sure that you write the date, detail and the amount parallel to each other. That means in the same line. You cannot write the detail date here and you cannot write down the amounts. So when you are writing, the date, the detail and the amount should be parallel. Now this is the first one. So invest in capital. Now we are going to the second transactions. It's called depositing in the bank account. So deposit in bank account means these days, because of the development, people or businesses, they do not carry cash when we are doing transaction. Instead of that, what they do is they deposit in the bank account, and through check they have started to do the transaction, do the payments or receive. All those things has been done these days using checks. So if you want to use checks, you need to have a bank account. So now we'll see when you start a bank account or when you deposit in a bank account, how does it affect? Now, that means now if you have invested, like earlier example, Judy started a business investing 10,000 cash. Now, when she was doing the transaction, she thought that having cash inside the drawer, it's very difficult because whenever she goes and do some transactions, she has to carry a lot of cash. So what she is going to do is she is going to deposit 2,000 out of 10,000 in a bank account. So what happens? Cash which is inside the business goes down, but the cash which is inside the bank increases. So bank increases, cash inside the bank increases, cash inside the business decreases. So cash which is inside the bank we call bank, cash which is inside the business we call cash. So bank is an asset. So when asset increases, it's on the debit side. That means when bank increases, you have to debit the bank account. When cash decreases, cash is an asset. When asset decreases, it's on the credit side of the account. Now we'll go do an example. Same example where Judy invested cash 10,000 on 1st of January, and the 2nd of January she decided to deposit out of 10,000 2,500 on a bank account. Okay, now same business, two different transactions. So first one affects the first transaction which she has done on 1st of January. When she invested cash increases and equity increases. So there are two different transactions. I have joined those two transactions to make you understand easy. Then the cash, when it increases, cash account is debit. When equity increases, it's equity account credit. Then the 2nd of January, out of this 10,000, she's taking 2,500 and she deposited in a bank account. So cash which is inside the business goes down, but the cash which is inside the bank increases. Always you have to make sure that you write the debit entry first. So debit entry means bank account increases, cash account decreases. So bank account is debit. Debit means DR, debit short form of debit, and cash account credit. Credit we write CR because it's the short form for credit. Now this is the affection which happens because of these two transactions. Now we are going to record them in, we need cash account, equity account and a bank account. That means you need three different T accounts. One is for cash, the other one is for equity account, and another one for bank account. So the very first transaction where Judy invested cash 10,000 increases cash account debit. That means 1st of January cash you will write on the debit side 10,000 and equity 1st of January 10,000. Now we recorded the amounts. Now you have to exchange the T account's name. That means cash account debit entry is there. Where is the credit entry? It's there on the equity account. So the detail will be equity. Equity credit entry is there. Where is the debit entry? Debit entry is there in the cash account. So in details column you will be writing cash. Now the first transaction has been recorded. Now you have to look at the second transaction which she has done on 2nd of January. She has deposited cash 2,500 on an bank account. That means cash decreases. You have to make sure you write the debit entry. So debit entry will be on the bank account, where you write the date 2500, and it will be credited to cash account 2nd of January 2500. Now we wrote the date and the amount in both accounts. Now you have to exchange the T account's name to write as details. So the debit entry is there on the bank account. Where is the credit entry? It's in the cash account. So in the detail column you will be writing cash. So cash account, the credit entry is there on the cash account. Where is the debit entry? It's there in the bank account. So in cash account you will write bank as the detail. So this is how you record the depositing of a bank account. That means after you invest cash outside an amount of cash, you will be depositing in the bank account. So this is the effect, and this is how you record in the T accounts. Then the third transaction, it will be taking a bank loan. Taking a bank loan means after investing while doing the business, if you suppose the cash which is there inside the business, if it's not enough, then you will be taking a bank loan. So we'll first see how does it affect and how to record in the double entry system. The effect is when you take a bank loan, they give you cash. So cash inside the business increases. But when you take a bank loan, it creates a liability to you. That means when you take a bank loan from a bank, you in future, near future, you are liable to pay them back. So effect is when you take a bank loan, cash is definitely increasing, but the same amount bank loan as well increases. So when cash is an asset, when cash increases, cash account will be debited. Bank loan is a liability. When liability increases, it's on the bank loan account credit side. So it says when one entry is debit, the other entry is credit. So we'll do an example. Same Judy's account. Judy, 10th of January, Judy took a bank loan for 25,000. So the effection is cash increases and bank loan increases. So when cash increases, cash account is debit. When bank loan increases, it's on the credit side of the account. Okay, now this is the double entry. When you take a bank loan, cash definitely increases because they give us cash, but you create a bank loan. Bank loan is a liability, so it will be credited to the bank loan account. Now we will see how it recorded in the T accounts. So you need two T accounts. One is for cash account and the other one is for bank account. So cash will be debited. The day is 10th of January. Amount is 25,000. Bank loan will be credited. So you have to write on the right side 10 January 25,000. Okay. Now what you have to do is, now you have written the date and the amount. Now you have to exchange the detail. That means the debit entry is in the cash account, whereas the credit entry is in the bank loan account. So here you have to write bank loan. Bank loan credit entry is there. The debit entry is in the cash account. So as details you have to write cash account. So this is when you are taking a bank loan, this is the double entry that you have to write, and this is the way you have to record in the T accounts. Now we'll look at the last transaction. We have 15 transactions altogether, but in this video I'll teach you around 4 transactions. The fourth one is when you purchase goods. When you purchase goods, it can be either on cash, that means where you pay on cash, or either on credit. Okay, so you can purchase goods on cash or on credit. So first I'll teach you how to record when you purchase something on cash. Okay, when you purchase something on cash, it affects 2 things. Okay, when you purchase means, now to sell, here the purchasing goods to resell, that means you purchase stuff. For an example, if you are selling mask, you purchase mask, bundle of mask, that is coming under purchaser. So what happens when you purchase goods on cash, you pay on cash. So purchasers increases, and when you pay on cash, cash decreases. So we assume purchasers increases. Purchasers means day to day when you purchase again and again, we assume purchasers as an expense. So expense increases will be debit side of the account. So purchasers account will be debit. When you purchase, then when you pay on cash, it will be a decreasement in the cash account. Okay, so when you purchase things on cash, purchasers increases. We have to assume that purchasers is an expense. So when expenses increases, it will be on the debit side of the account. And when you pay on cash, it makes a decreasement in the cash account. So when cash increases, when cash decreases, it will be recorded on the credit side of the cash account. So double entry of the purchasing of goods on cash is purchasers will be increases, so you have to debit the purchase account. Cash, when you are paying on cash, cash will be decreases, so it will be recorded on the credit side of the account. For example, purchased goods on cash $15,000 on 1st of February 2010. So this one affects when you purchase good, purchasers increases. Because you are paying on cash, cash decreases. So purchasers, when it increases, it's an expense, so purchasers account will be debit. Cash decreases, so cash account will be credit. Okay, so this is the effect and the double entry. Now we'll see how to record in the T accounts. You need 2 T accounts. One is for purchasers account. The other one is for cash account. We'll assume there is an amount in the debit side, because without cash you won't be able to pay. So I'll put a cross, which means that there is an amount of cash inside the business. Now when we purchase account will be debit. That means on 1st of February 15,000. So it will be recorded on the debit side, and the cash account will be credited 1st of February 15,000. Now we recorded the date and the amount. Now we have to exchange the account's name. So purchasers account you will write cash as details. In cash account you will write purchasers as detail. So this is the double entry when you are recording the purchase of goods for resale which you have purchased on cash. So this is the double entry, and this is the way that you have to record the transaction. Now this is on cash. Now we are going to learn when you purchase something on credit. That means you purchase goods to resell, but without paying cash, you will say supplier, you will pay it at a later date. So on credit. So same thing happen when you purchases, the effect is purchases definitely increases, because when you purchase again and again, purchases increases. Now here, because you are purchasing on credit, cash won't be going out. Instead of that, you create a liability we called trade payables. That means now if assume in Judy's example, if Judy purchased goods from another person called Victor or someone, then the Victor becomes a trade payable. That means it's a liability. We are not paying on cash. So at a later date, we are liable to pay him back. So if Judy is purchasing from Victor, Victor becomes a trade payable. So the double entry will be when purchases increases, purchases are assumed as expense. So purchases account will be debit. Trade payable, that means the particular person from whom you are purchasing, that person's account will be, here we don't have an example, so instead of person's name, I'll write trade payable. So particular trade payables accounts will be credit, because trade payables are liabilities. When liability increases, it will be recorded on the credit side of the account. Now example, same Judy who purchased earlier, again on 15th February, Judy purchasing goods for 10,000 from David. We'll assume David, from David's company she is purchasing. So you have to make sure if a person's name is given, you have to assume that he has purchased on credit. So if there is a name, that means on credit only they have purchased. So here the effect is when you purchase goods, the purchases are increasing and David is becoming a trade payable. So trade payable, the liability of trade payable increases as well. So the double entry will be purchases increases, it's an expense. So when expenses increases, it will be recorded on the debit side of the account. Trade payable, that means David is a trade payable. So we have the name. So David's account will be credited. Okay, so when you purchase on credit, purchases increases and the person from whom you are purchasing, that person will become a trade payable. So here according to this example, David's become a trade payable. So David's account will be credited. Now we'll record them in the 2T accounts. We need 2T accounts. One is for purchases account. The other one is for David's account. Now particular person name is given, so we can write the particular person's account name. Okay. Then the purchases 15th February 10,000 will be debit and David's account 15th February 10,000 credited. Now what you have to do is you have to exchange the names to write in the details. So purchases, debit entry is there. Credit entry is in the David account, so detail will be David. In David's account, credit entry is there, debit entry is there in the purchasers account. So in the David credit side, you will be writing as details purchases. So we have done, altogether we have done 4 transactions. In the next video, I'll be doing all the other transactions. I hope that you have understood. First what you have to do is you have to memorize this one. According to that, each transaction you have to understand which increases and which decreases, and according to that you have to record in the debit and credit entry system. So this is called double entry system. until 4th transactions we have done. We have altogether 15 transactions. All the other transactions I'll be doing in the next video. Thank you and God bless you.